Here it is, what you've all been waiting for. So there were a lot of great movies last year, but unfortunately there were bad ones too. Just a few. There's a lot of movies we need to talk about. So to help me in this review, I invited my good friend, some guy.
Hi.
So are you ready to go over the worst films of the year?
I sure am. I can't wait.
There have been tons of terrible movies this year.
I couldn't agree more. So many.
Movies like The Big Short, Son of Saul, Tangerine, Spy, Room, Sicario, Carol, Brooklyn, Ex Machina, Bone Tomahawk, 99 Homes, Dope, Inside Out, Ex Machina, 71, Diary of a Teenage Girl, Straight Outta Compton, and Creed.
I heard those movies were good though.
Number 10 on this list is the latest Steven Spielberg bomb, Bridges Spies. Spielberg is the director of such classics as War Horse and Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Those are great films, but after those, what does he give us? Some boring spy movie about a bunch of boring people talking. Could have used more action, could have used more intensity, more CGI. It's not just me, critics all over the world have been panning this movie. Famous film critic Sean Hazlitt said in a review, Spielberg, who veers into a squee sanctimony that stops just short of jingoism.
Hey, wasn't that written by the Coen brothers?
Who are the Coen brothers?
Fuck if I know. Fuck.
Number 9 is It Follows. Have you seen this movie, Fuzzy?
No, but the fucking internet tells me it's good.
Well, the internet is wrong.
Hang on, the internet can't be wrong. If the movie has a high Rotten Tomatoes score, it must be good.
Well, no one else is allowed to have an opinion, Fuzzy. It Follows sucks. The movie isn't even scary. There are no jump scares. The cinematography is too good to be scary. Like, to make a scary movie, it has to look like shit. All scary movies need to look like this, like found footage. There is a scene in this movie where the It Follows creature is standing on the roof. Like, why would he get up on the roof? How did he get up there? I was more distracted by the overwhelming amount of pubic hair. Like, you need to shave some of that shit.
Oh, so that must mean the movie's bad.
Exactly, Fuzzy. Forming your own opinions are very hard, so just listen to what other people say. It's much easier. Number 8 is The Martian.
Hang on, what?
Yes, The Martian won the Golden Globe for the best comedy of the year.
So?
It's not a very good comedy.
That's not the film's fault. That's the fault of the marketing department of the Golden Globes for putting the film in that category.
Before I continue, I'd just like to mention our sponsors here at the Ralph the Movie Maker Show. This episode is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts.
Good morning, what can I get for you?
Sugar, cream, and 2 coffees, please.
Medium hot coffee, cream, 2 sugar, sounds good.
At Dunkin', we make your life just the way you coffee get. If again, we'll make it a not on the spot.
See you tomorrow.
That's the DDDDDDD commitment. America runs on Dunkin'.
Number 7 is Beasts of No Nation. The biggest problem with this movie, because there are some good things about it, but the biggest problem is there are no white people in it. But seriously, every movie needs to star a masculine, white, male character who's strong, intimidating, and says jokes. How am I supposed to enjoy a movie with no strong, white male lead in it? Like, I know it's not realistic, but it's a movie. Like, instead of casting that black kid to play the main character in this movie, they could have cast someone like Jai Courtney, who really could have brought a lot to that role. Or like Aaron Taylor Johnson. This worst of the year list is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts, making the best coffee and hot chocolate around, bringing you some of the best coffee and hot chocolate in the entire country. Or at least that's what they say. Hateful Eight. Boring. Number 5 is Spotlight. Tom McCarthy made this movie. The guy who made The Cobbler. The Cobbler was good though. And now he makes this movie and it just stinks. Here's how they're selling this movie, because the marketing is very bad. They're selling this movie as something it isn't. They're selling it like it's a film about the priests who rape these little boys when they're young, and then they grow up and they tell the news. But the film doesn't even show any of the rape. Like, we needed 10 or 20 scenes at least of just priests raping little kids to really, like, you know, emphasize like the message of the movie. Do you know what I mean? Number 4 is The Revenant. The director of this guy, some I don't know what his name is. Like, why does he have to have a long, complicated name? Can't he just have a simple name like Michael Bay? Like, I can memorize Michael Bay, but how am I supposed to memorize that? Like, you change your name, dude. You're in Hollywood. So, the biggest problem with this movie is the guy who made this movie said everything was shot naturally. Like, what is this, a movie from the 20s? Everything has to be, like, realistic? Like the Lumiere brothers or something? Use some CGI, you know? Like there's scenes where, like, he's being chased and stuff, and it's all real. But it would have been more intense if it was like Transformers or something, where like CGI robots are chasing after him instead. You know what I mean? Number 3, Steve Jobs. They just ripped off The Social Network, really, with this one, which is one of the worst movies ever made, by the way. Whoever wrote this movie is just some Aaron Sorkin wannabe. Number 2 is Anomalisa. This movie makes no sense. Why are all the main characters puppets? Why do they have lines on their eyes? Like, why is the movie about a bunch of ugly people? There's all this, like, symbolism in it. Like, I don't want to think when I'm watching a movie. I just want to sit down and be entertained when I'm watching something like Terminator Genesis, you know? Or the best movie of last year, Pixels. But here's a film that wants to challenge you, wants to make you think. It's doing something new and creative and interesting. But, like if I want something new, I just go to Dunkin' Donuts, you know, and try their new hot chocolate. Number 1, by far, the worst movie of the year. Number 1 is Mad Max Fury Road, the worst movie of the year.
It's a lot of subscribers. It's almost unfathomable, unquantifiable amount that you can actually quantify.
We better here to play if you don't complain.
Where's Martin?
Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe, like this video, and comment, because I really care what you have to say. It's not like I have to sift through 200 comments a day. And also remember to check out our sponsor, Dunkin' Donuts. Be sure to subscribe to their YouTube channel.
Wow!
Al Pacino!
It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Dunkachino?
Don't mind if I do.
What's my name? Dunkachino! It's a whole new game. Dunkachino! You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. That's 'cause Jesus Christ is...